Welcome to Lead. We've been talking about culture and the importance of culture. We all of us have embraced culture, whether it's in a place of employment, whether it's in our home, whether it's in our nation or our community, and at church, culture. And at Elevation, one of the elements of culture that we embrace is this idea that there's acceptance that releases freedom. That's what we'll talk about today, acceptance that releases freedom. That this is something that we grab a hold of and that we put into practice on every level of ministry. First understanding, to grab this, you got to first understand that this idea of acceptance, that I've been asked the question, I've had one-on-ones where people want to meet with me and ask about our church and, talk about the idea of who do you include? We accept everybody. And I don't think you can get anywhere else if you are following Christ and you want to be His church, His body, the extension of His hands and feet on this planet, then you got to accept people. The Word says this, John 3:16, that God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. That He loved the world. That's everybody in the world. It's beyond borders and nations and tribes and tongues, and even throughout history, that God loved the world, that He loves people, that He sent Christ for everyone. And so who do I exclude from that? No, everybody's included. And so there's acceptance. We accept people because God accepts people. And there has to be a desire, right? Acceptance isn't everything. That's a part of it. We accept people. So people walk through the doors at Elevation. Maybe you're on the guest experience team and you greet them or you seat them or you help them park their car. Well, we're accepting them. Come as you are. Jesus, his arms are outstretched and accepting. And again, as an extension, we accept people. Children's ministry, wherever it's at, we accept people. That acceptance and then understanding that God accepts them, that acceptance attached to the idea that there's forgiveness, right? Where there's a desire to say, I don't have my life right. My life's flawed. I'm a flawed person. And sometimes I've talked about the idea that at Elevation, there's no perfect people allowed. None of us have got it all right. And so, because God accepts us and we desire not to stay at the level we're at, but to go to a new elevation, that there's a next step for us, that we understand that. We understand that for everyone, that we accept them, God accepts them, and then they should have a desire to change. And that acceptance, well, that is a release of freedom in people's lives. You see, I get to freedom because God has accepted me. He didn't say, okay, you need to get ABC right before you come to me. He didn't say, you have to wear a certain thing or look a certain way or get these things out of your life before you're accepted. God says, I accept you. And then we turn from that and we accept people. We love people. We reach out to people. We extend grace to people. And in that releases freedom. And we believe that. We believe that acceptance, there is an acceptance that we offer that releases freedom. And then when people come, they can be set free of the bondage and the strongholds and the captivity in their life so that they can experience, right? We accept them so they experience that freedom. And that's just, that should permeate our culture. If you're on a team serving, this is something you teach to all the people that's serving on your team. And you continue to remind them, hey, that person may be different. There may be something about them that we look at and we think, well, that's vastly different than what we embrace or know in our own life, but we're going to accept them, show them love, because in that there's the possibility and potential for freedom, that they can be free of those hurts, of those hang-ups, of those habits that they experience. And I want to tell you, this right here is a game changer in ministry when you understand that there's acceptance that releases freedom. I'm free because God has accepted me. And He's the one that'll do the work that I can't do. He'll do the work in your life that you can't do. And He'll do it in the people that we meet Sunday after Sunday, in every event that we experience and every outreach that we do, that we think, well, they really need help. And they do. And we're going to accept them. And in that acceptance, they're going to experience Jesus. And that's going to bring a release for their life. And so I encourage you, Look around right now where you're at, where you're serving, find out how can you be more accepted and how can you see more freedom as you practice this in your leadership and in your life.